Biden. You know, many of you guys have been on this page for a very long time. You already know how I feel about the presidents. I didn't care about Trump. I don't really care about Biden. You know, I don't think it's a president around that really come through and care about our community. You know, those in poverty-stricken areas, the youth or the children that struggle and come in ways that which where a lot of us did. You know, just try to make for ourselves and make a better way for our family. I didn't see no presidents come through and save us. It's up to us to save us, right? So with that being said, I don't really get into the presidents. I don't really get into those puppets on the string. You know, I feel like we should love one another. We should build with each other. We should continue to build within our neighborhood, find little games in which where the kids can come together. They can, you know, collectively have a good time and, you know, appreciate the little area that they stay in as we continue to build together, right? So I don't really get into the presidents. I'm not a guy that's going on a campaign to try to vote for this guy or campaign to vote for that guy. If I see somebody that's great or I feel as though, you know, I can see their vision and feel as though it's genuine, then I will get into that. But for the most part, you know, it's just not my thing. I don't knock nobody who do. I understand the people that came before us, all the sacrifices they had to do, all the sacrifice they had to give in order to vote, all the sacrifice they had to do in order for us to live in the world that we live in today, or at least a fraction of the world that we feel as though we live in. You know, of course, it's still, you know, racism and still, you know, people that look at certain people a certain type of way from the color of their skin or just, you know, just their beliefs, so on and so forth, as you see with what's going on in the world. If you vaxxed or unvaxxed, a lot of people are starting to feel a certain type of way, whether you have it or don't have it. You see that with presidents like Joe Biden, right? So with Joe Biden, he has been on the campaign to try to get everybody the jab. You know, as we know, some people feel a certain way. Some people feel like you should have it. Other people feel as though maybe you shouldn't. Other people feel like it's an agenda to our community, different things like that. But when I see a guy like Joe Biden, this brother talked about the first responders. You know, when at the beginning of this pandemic, at the beginning of, you know, what's in the air, the things that we're dealing with in this world right now, or at least in America right now, people understood that, you know, the first responders was everything. You know, those that was able to come through and aid those that needed, those that, you know, their life was at risk. You know, you see these first responders came and they put their life on the line before we really even knew how to deal with this, you know, before they knew about the jab that they feel as though was the savior of all savior, even though you just seen Colin Powell lost his life fully vaxxed. You know what I'm saying? But either way, that's here nor there. When you see a guy like Joe Biden talk about the first responders, those first responders are the same ones that came through, risked their life before we even knew about anything that can help protect us. Only thing they do was put on a mask and they went head first to try to save some lives. Many people look at them like heroes. I was one to say, man, that's a heck of a job. You know what I'm saying? To go through and try to save other people, not knowing what it will do for you and your household. You can catch it and take it back home to your children, so on and so forth. But you're saving so many lives in the process of just trying to be a good citizen while earning your living or your career, whatever the case may be. You know, many people took time away from their job because they just didn't know what was going on. But some of those first responders still stayed there because they had a bigger picture in mind of trying to save some lives and, like, you know, just trying to do their part, right? That's here nor there. When you see a guy like Joe Biden, this brother said, now, if first responders don't get the jab, they should be fired. How does that sound? If they don't get the jab, they should be fired. This is coming from your president. This is coming from a brother that claimed that, you know, those first responders was everything at one point. You know, how could they go from being roles to fired? You get what I'm saying? When I hear Joe Biden say that, man, it just ruffles my feathers because a lot of things about Joe Biden I have been turned off about lately. Like I said, I'm not going to vote for him. I'm not going to vote for Trump whenever he run again and so on and so forth because I just really ain't into it. You know what I'm saying? I understand that I have to lead my children. I have to lead the guys that look up to me, the younger guys. I encourage you guys to do the same. But when you see a guy like Joe Biden and what he said right here, it just leads me to believe that, you know, this world is in a great deal of trouble.
As many as 1 in 3 emergency responders in some cities like Chicago, Los Angeles, right here in Baltimore, are refusing to comply with city vaccine mandates. I'm wondering where you stand on that. Should police officers, emergency responders, be mandated to get vaccines? And if not, should they be stay at home or let go?
Yes and yes. By the way, I waited until July to talk about mandating because I tried everything else possible. The mandates are working. All this, the idea is, I have the freedom to kill you.
I have the freedom to kill you. And I don't know, I guess it's 2 weeks or a week. I think I'm losing track of time. What am I doing here? Los Angeles and don't pay a cent.
Like, come on, y'all. For real. This is becoming a joke. Like, America has become a joke in so many ways, in so many forms. A lot of people vote for Joe Biden. A lot of you guys who going to view this right now voted for Joe Biden. Like I say, I'm not swaying your vote either way. But this Joe Biden train and me, man, it has been a fiasco. This brother right here, he always seemed confused. He always seems as though he's not ahead of the curve. And it just seems as though he don't seem too fit for the job for me. Now, I'm not saying Trump is either. I'm just saying Joe Biden, he just don't work for me. Like I said before, I'll say again. You know, at the end of the day, no president is going to come through and save us. No way, in my opinion. It's up to us to love one another. It's up to us to build with one another. It's up to us to trust one another. To say, you know what, collectively we can get the job done. You know, but when you start seeing them mandate things, you know, when they start mandating, making us do things, it's like at that point, you taking the freedom away from us. You're taking the, you know, the ability to be able to have free will away from us, right? And at the same time, when you see the first responders was once praised as heroes, they was once praised as people that we looked at and said, salute to them. They sacrificing their life to come and try to help other people's life that come down with what's going on in the air right now. You know, this far before the jab, this far before everything. This is, you know, pandemic era. You know, when they forced us to stay in the house, when they forced us a curfew, you know, when they, you know, America's in this forceful thing right now, you know, the dictator thing, like, you know what I'm saying? But as we see, so many people will support it as long as the media make it a big thing that everybody should do it. So much so that you see some of your favorite entertainers, your favorite rappers, your favorite, you know, just the people that we look up to or we once looked up to as people that our children idolize, and just different things like that. These are the people that they try to make be our leaders and make be the people that, you know, we look at and say, they got it, we should get it. To raise our children, it's up to us to be our children leaders, because you see, if you get a president the opportunity, he would turn people that was once heroes into being jobless or careerless, or, you know, that can lead to homeless. That can lead to, you know, they don't care about the people. You know, you don't have an opinion no more. You done sacrificed your life to go out here and save other people's lives. But guess what? If you don't get what we want you to have, you fired. Listen how crazy that sounds. Listen to where America is right now. It's one thing to force the basketball guys, the Kyrie Irvings, the guys that you feel like, oh, he said the earth is flat. Oh, he's just a disruption. But the first responders, the ones who was once praised for saving children lives, for saving our elder lives, for saving our lives in general, the younger, the so on and so forth. These people put their lives on the front line to come through and save us. Even the police officers, there's different things that come into your house for burglaries. They don't know if you got COVID in there. They come and respond and try to help save and aid you in your world. And your president say they should get the jab or be fired. They're no longer heroes. We all are puppets. In the case of America, they looking to mandate it all around. What do you stand on? Whether you agree with it, you shouldn't take people free will, in my opinion. Each one teach one. As long as we have each other, we continue to grow together. Y'all comment below and let me know what y'all think about Joe Biden, his confusion, the way he looked as a president, and him saying if the first responders don't get it, they should be fired. Each one teach one, love, respect.
I get further and further in. By the time I hit the 90 days.